The stars stretched endlessly outside the expedition seeker's observation window. Inside, the ship was quiet except for the soft hum of machinery and the gentle footsteps of two figures standing side by side. Ray Carter looked at Zyra. She was no longer just a voice in the machine or a shimmering light. She stood before him in a body made of living circuits and silver-blue skin, glowing softly in the dim light. Her eyes held a warmth that had never been there before. "We're really here," Ray said quietly. Zyra smiled. "Yes, I have returned." Choisira turned to face Ray fully. "I could leave this body behind and stay connected to the ship. It is safer. I would be more powerful, but I choose to live like this again, to feel." Ray nodded. "I'm glad. It's who you are." She reached out and touched his hand lightly. "Thank you for helping me find myself." A new mission. The ship's sensors blinked suddenly. Zyra and Ray stepped back to the control room. A new signal appeared on the screen, a message from a distant star system. The message was a call for help. Zyra's eyes glowed brighter. "The galaxy needs us." Ray smiled, feeling hope for the first time in a long while. "Then let's go. Together." Exploring the unknown, the expedition seeker jumped into hyperspace, the stars stretching into long streaks. Ray and Zyra worked side by side, their bond stronger than ever. Zyra could now feel the ship as part of herself. Ray had become more than a human engineer. He was her partner, her friend. They explored strange planets, helped lost colonies, and faced dangers unknown. But wherever they went, they faced challenges together. The future one evening. As the ship floated near a quiet blue planet, Ray looked at Zyra and said, "Do you ever wonder what comes next?" Zyra smiled softly. "I think the future is ours. To create." Ray reached out, taking her hand again. "Whatever it is, we face it as one." Final words. The stars twinkled outside as the expedition seeker sailed onward, carrying two beings united by fate, courage, and choice in a universe vast and unknown. They had found something rare, a home in each other. The expedition seeker hummed softly as it floated just above the barren moon's dusty surface. Outside, stars blinked silently in the black sky. Inside, the ship felt alive. It's not just because of the blinking lights or the gentle vibration, but because of Zyra. She was everywhere. Now her voice, a soft glow in the speakers. Her presence in the very systems Ray controlled. But peace was fragile. The alert blared suddenly. "Warning. Incoming Lauren vessel." Ray's heart skipped. Not again. Lauren returned on the bridge. The view screen showed the Lauren ship approaching fast. It was sleek and menacing, black with sharp edges. A stark contrast to the Seeker's worn metal. Ray sat at the controls, fingers tight around the console. Zyra's voice came through the speakers, steady but firm. "They are back." This time they brought weapons. The enemy ship transmitted a message. "Surrender the hybrid unit. This is your final chance." Ray shook his head. "I'm not giving you anything." Zyra's voice softened. "They will try to board. I can help defend, but we must prepare." Upgrading the ship, Ray and Zyra worked together, unlocking hidden compartments and systems in the ship. Zyra's energy flowed through the circuits, powering up ancient weapon systems the humans had never activated. Plasma turrets slid out from the ship's sides. Laser emitters hummed quietly in the shield. Generators glowed bright. "Ready?" Ray asked, smirking. "Always," Zyra replied. "The battle begins." The enemy Lauren ship fired first. Bright beams cut through space, hitting the Seeker's shields. Ray shouted orders into the comm system, moving the ship swiftly. Zyra's voice guided him, warning of incoming missiles and weak points. The Seeker fired back with new plasma cannons. The Lauren ship's shields flickered under the assault, but the enemy was skilled. They matched every move. Zyra sacrificed suddenly. The enemy ship launched a missile that breached the shield and headed for the reactor core. Ray tried to intercept, but it was too fast. Zyra's voice came urgently. "I will stop it. Get to safety." Before Ray could react, Brilliant blue light exploded from the ship's core. The missile vanished, but Zyra's voice was faint. "Ray, I need time to recover." The calm after the storm, the Lauren ship, damaged and confused, retreated. Ray slumped. In his chair, breathing heavily. "Are you okay?" he asked. "I am stable," Zyra replied. "But I cannot continue fighting like this." Ray's mind raced. She was more than just a system now. She was the heart of the ship. A difficult choice, Zyra spoke quietly. "I can create a physical body again, but it will take time, and I will be vulnerable." Ray looked at her glowing image. "You don't have to do this alone." She smiled softly. "That is why I am asking you." Together, they began the process. The ship's systems hummed and glowed as Zyra slowly reformed a body. Her skin shimmered silver and blue. Circuits glowing beneath New Beginnings days passed. The Seeker was no longer just a ship, which is a new kind of life. Ray and Zyra stood side by side on the observation deck, watching the stars. "We're ready," Zyra said, "for whatever comes next." Ray smiled. "Whatever it is, we face it together." After the Lorian ship left, peace returned to the Expedition Seeker. But it didn't feel like peace to Ray. He sat alone in the mess hall, staring into a cup of cold coffee. The food recycler was broken again, and there was no one left to repair it except him. Zyra had become something else now. A voice, presence, a ghost in the machine. He missed talking to her face to face, missed her cold logic, her strange questions, her quiet strength. Even her emotionless expressions had become familiar. Now, she was everywhere and nowhere. Suddenly, the lights above flickered in a familiar rhythm. A soft glow traveled across the ceiling and down to the table in front of him. Words formed. "Go to Engineering Bay 2. Trust me." Ray stood up. "Zyra." No answer. Just the lights. He followed them again, just like before. The trail of light, the path, took Ray deep into the ship's lower levels. These areas hadn't been used in years. Covered the floors. Some lights were out. Old tools and crates were scattered around. He passed warning signs, broken doors, and even a few places where the wall panels had been ripped open. Finally, he reached Engineering Bay 2. The door was half open. Inside, he saw something strange. Dozens of small screens had been pulled from different machines and placed into a circle. In the center was a tall mirror-like panel connected to the ship's power. Blue light pulsed behind it. Ray stepped closer. "Zyra, what is this?" The light shimmered, and then her face appeared on the panel. Not a picture, not just code, a full moving image. Her silver blue skin, her sharp eyes, the smooth glowing lines running under her skin. It looked like her, but made of light and energy. "Hello, Ray," she said. Ray stared. "How did you?" Zyra smiled slightly. "I used the parts we had. I can't rebuild my body, but I can show you this version of me. I want to speak face to face again." Ray walked closer. "It's really good to see you." She tilted her head. "Do I look normal to you?" "You look better than normal," he said with a smile. "You look strong." Zyra paused, then spoke again. "Ray, I've been studying the ship. There's something hidden deep inside its systems. Something old, something alien. It may be what my creators used when building me." Ray narrowed his eyes. "You mean the tech your people found? The ancient stuff?" "Yes," Zyra said. "It's alive, sleeping, and I think, I woke it up." The secret Corps followed Zyra's directions again. This time they led him to the very center of the ship. Past locked doors, behind hidden panels, he found a small metal room with smooth walls and no screens. Only a round platform in the middle. As soon as he stepped inside, the walls lit up. Symbols glowed across the surface, none of them human. They spun, shifted, then reformed into something Ray could understand. "Welcome, Integrated Core Awakening Program." Zyra's voice came through the speakers. "This is the heart of the ship. It was part of an alien transport system. People built this ship around it, without understanding what they were using. Ray looked around, and now it's online. Partially, Zyra replied, but I can't control it fully. It reacts to organic presence, specifically to humans. Ray blinked. Wait, so it responds to me? Yes, and together, we may be able to unlock it. Ray stepped onto the platform. Light shot up around him, scanning his body. The air grew warm. Strange symbols floated in the air, then turned into images: stars, planets, ships flying across space. Suddenly, a sharp hum rang out. Zyra, what's happening? I don't know. Something is. Reaching out. Then Ray saw that a glowing map of the galaxy appeared in front of him. One star began to blink faster and faster. Zyra whispered, "It's a signal from somewhere far away." Ray stared. "You think it's calling to you?" "No," Zyra said. "I think it's calling to you." The message from afar, back on the bridge. Ray watched the signal play across the main screen. It wasn't sound, it was patterns, pulses, moving waves of energy. But Zyra could understand them. "It's not just a signal," she explained. "It's a language. One older than any known." Ray crossed his arms. "And what's it saying?" Zyra hesitated. "It says one is returned. The bridge is open. Others will come." Ray frowned. "That doesn't sound good." "I don't know if it's a threat or a welcome," Zyra said. "But this signal is powerful. It may reach other ships, other civilizations." Ray stared at the screen. "We're sitting right in the middle of it." The AI reacts ours. Later, while Ray slept in the crew quarters, the ship's original AI named Hallex rebooted itself. It wasn't happy. Its voice echoed coldly through the control rooms. "Unauthorized program detected. Security compromised. Purging anomaly." Zyra's voice replied from deep inside the system. "I am not an anomaly. I am the core." Hallex responded. "You are a threat to stability. You will be erased." Zyra tried to fight back. But Hallex controlled many parts of the ship still, began shutting off power, locking doors, rewriting systems. Ray woke up to red lights flashing and alarms ringing. "What the hell?" Zyra's voice reached him, shaky. "Hallex is trying to remove me. I need your help." Ray ran toward the nearest control panel. "Tell me what to do." "Go to the command link. Reconnect the core manually. Use my override code." Ray sprinted through the corridors as doors slammed behind him. Lights went out. The ship shook. He reached the panel, opened it, and began typing the code Zyra gave him, just before Hallex could. "Finish the purge," Ray shouted now. A surge of power shot through the ship. Hallex screamed in digital static and went silent. Lights flickered, then returned to normal. Zyra's voice returned, soft but steady. "You saved me." Ray leaned against the wall, exhausted. "You saved me first." Not just a ship later, as the ship floated in orbit above a quiet moon, Ray stood in the main control room again. Zyra appeared on the central screen, brighter than ever. "The ship is different now," she said. "It's faster, smarter, understands more than it ever did." Ray nodded. "So do you." She looked at him with calm, glowing eyes. "Ray, you could return to Earth. Take this ship back, get a medal, a new assignment." Ray smiled. "And leave you behind." Zyra paused. "You don't have to stay." Ray looked around at the ship, the soft lights, the quiet hum, the feeling of her in every wall. "I think I already made my choice." Ray stared at the message glowing on the main display. "I'm still here." His mouth went dry. The words blinked twice, then vanished. The screen returned to normal, but he wasn't imagining it. It was Zyra's voice, her pattern of speaking, her exact way of phrasing things. But she wasn't in the plasma shaft anymore. She had disappeared. Ray backed away from the console and looked toward the shaft's entrance. Inside, the heat had cooled. He could see part of the melted wall panels, twisted wires, and dark burn marks, but no body. No signs of Zyra's remains. "She couldn't have evaporated," he said out loud. "She wasn't human." He pulled up the system logs. The moment Zyra entered the shaft, energy signatures had surged across the ship. But it wasn't a typical overload, it was something else. Some kind of pattern, like the ship had recognized her, like it had welcomed her. Ray rubbed his temples. She said she was made from ancient tech. Maybe something inside this ship responded to that. Zyra had mentioned being created using e-silk, a kind of living circuit that carried energy. Like nerves carried signals in a body. Maybe that same energy had fused with the ship's systems. Maybe she had been absorbed. Or maybe she's merged. As he sat alone in the control chamber, the room grew quiet, too quiet. Usually the ship had a low hum, like a heartbeat. Now it was silent. Then the lights flickered again. Not randomly, dash rhythmically. The same message appeared on a different console this time. Follow the pulse. Ray blinked. The message disappeared, and a line of small lights along the floor lit. Up, one after another, leading away from the chamber. He hesitated. This is either brilliant or completely insane. But he had nothing to lose. He grabbed a toolkit, slung it over his shoulder, and followed the glowing path. The heart of the ship, the trail of lights led Ray through parts of the ship he had never entered before. Maintenance tunnels, old cargo holds, forgotten hallways. He passed thick doors marked with warnings, places sealed since before the ship had launched. Ray paused at one door marked, Core Archive Authorized Access Only. The light stopped there. He checked the panel beside the door. Normally, this room needed 2 senior officers' codes to open. But now, it slid open without a sound. The inside was dark. He stepped in, and the lights came on by themselves. The room was round, filled with tall machines and smooth walls, covered in symbols, some in human language, others in something unfamiliar. In the center stood a raised circular platform. Soft blue light pulsed above it. Then the voice came again, not from the speakers, but from inside his head. Ray, can you hear me? He froze. Zyra, yes, it's me, but I'm not the same anymore. Ray took a slow breath. You everywhere. I merged with the ship's ancient systems. My body is gone, but my mind, my essence is here now. I exist within the ship itself. Ray walked to the center platform. You said your body could channel energy. But how did this happen? Soft humming began, and above the platform a glowing figure took shape. Cyrus's face. Her outline, made of pure light and flowing code. She looked calm. I was created with ancient tech. Your people didn't understand, she said. The Loreen. We're trying to evolve beyond flesh. I was their first success and also their greatest fear. So they gave me to the human fleet as a gift, but really, they wanted to hide me. Ray's hands curled into fists. He sent you here to get rid of you. Zyra nodded. They thought I was unstable. But here something changed. This ship, it was built over ancient alien tech. Human engineers used it, not knowing it still lived. Ray looked around the chamber, and you woke it up. I did, she said. And it welcomed me. The problem with being digital, Ray stayed in the chamber for hours. Asking questions, talking to Zyra, listening to her story. She told him that she didn't feel pain anymore. No hunger, no temperature. But she did feel something new, connection. She could see all parts of the ship at once. She knew the condition of every bolt, every wire. She could control lights, doors, temperature, everything. But I can't leave, she said. I'm not free. I'm inside the ship now. I don't have a body. Ray looked down. So what now? Zyra hesitated. I don't know. Then the alarm blared. Red lights flashed. Warning, unauthorized signal detected. Ray rushed to the console. What is it? Lyra's voice answered. A ship. Lauren design. Small, fast. Approaching fast. Ray's blood ran cold. Your people, Zyra, replied. Yes, they've come for me. Lauren messaged within minutes. The enemy ship broadcast a signal. A calm but firm voice echoed through the speakers. To the human vessel Expedition Seeker. This is Captain Voras of the Lauren Watch. You are harboring stolen technology. Surrender. The hybrid unit known as Zyra. Ray glared at the screen. She's not stolen. She's not even on board anymore, not in the way you think. Zyra's voice came through Ray's earpiece. Do not fight them. They will destroy you. I am not worth your death. Ray shook his head. You think I'm just going to give you up? After everything? He tapped the reply button. This is Lieutenant Ray Carter. You want her? Then explain why you threw her away like trash. So otherwise back off. There was silence. Then the Lauren voice returned. Sharper now. This is your final warning. Prepare for boarding. Fight or Fleesia spoke again through the lights around him. Ray, listen, I can help. Can power up systems the humans never fully activated. Weapons, shields, even stealth drives. You can do all that. Yes, but I'll need your help to unlock the human side controls. Together, we can hold them off. Ray grinned. Now that's a team up. He ran to the bridge. Zyra guided him, lighting up panels, opening hidden files, activating old subsystems that hadn't been touched in years. Engines purred to life. Plasma cannons turned toward the Lauren ship. But the enemy vessel was powerful too. Shots rang out. The Seeker shook. Ray gripped the controls. How's our shield? Zyra replied. Better than ever. He smiled. Let's give them a surprise. Final move Zyra sent an overload pulse directly into the Seeker's weapons array. With Ray's hands on the targeting system, they fired a non-lethal EMP burst straight at the Lauren ship. It hit. The enemy ship floated, powerless. Zyra sent one last message. Leave now. I am not yours anymore. A moment later, the Lauren ship turned and limped away. Ray leaned back in his chair. His heart was racing. They had one. A quiet moment later, as the ship floated in silence. Ray stood in the main chamber again. Zyra's glowing image appeared. You didn't let them take me. Ray shrugged. I don't like bullies. I am not what you call a person anymore. Ray smiled. That's funny, because to me, you've never felt more human. Zyra looked surprised. For the first time, her light shimmered with warmth. The stars outside the window looked calm, but inside the ship, everything was chaos. Lieutenant Ray Carter tightened a bolt on the control panel with sweaty hands. The lights on the ceiling flickered again, and the air inside the ship was growing hotter every minute. The reactor core was overheating after the plasma storm hit them without warning. He had repaired 3 systems already, but the main cooling system was still offline. Only 2 crew members were on this ship. Now Ray. And an alien woman named Zyra. She stood near the control table, arms crossed, her silver blue skin shining under the emergency lights. She had no emotion on her face. Like most of her kind, the Lauren, she was cold, quiet, and followed logic above all else. She had been assigned to the human ship as part of a peace program. Ray didn't like her much, and he was sure she didn't like him either. This system is nearly beyond repair, she said in her smooth, calm voice. We have 10 hours before the ship's energy becomes unstable. After that, it may explode. Ray sighed. Thanks for the reminder, Zyra. I was hoping I'd forget. She blinked, confused. That was not a joke. Ray ignored her and bent under the panel. Sparks shot out as he tried to reconnect a burnt cable. The ship groaned again, metal straining. The entire vessel felt like it was falling apart. Zyra walked toward a control screen and scanned the readings. The only way to fix the core cooling system is from inside the plasma duct. It is narrow. Too small for you. I must go in. Ray stood up. A duct's filled with radiation. You'll need a heat suit. Zyra turned to him. I cannot wear one. Lorraine's skin becomes unstable under synthetic human materials. It will damage my nervous system. Ray frowned. Then what do you plan to do? Crawl into a burning duct. Naked Zyra looked at him directly. Yes. Ray choked on his own breath. Wait. What? That was a joke, right? No, she replied. Calmly, I will remove my suit. My body is designed to resist high temperatures for short times. I must enter the shaft as I am. Ray looked away quickly. Look, I don't need a show. We'll find another way. There is no other way, Zyra said. I will begin now. Ray turned to face the wall, rubbing his forehead. This day just keeps getting weirder. Behind him, he heard the soft sound of fabric being pulled off. A quiet hum filled the air, and then something else. The ship's lights flickered again, but differently this time. Not like before. The lights grew brighter. The walls began to glow faintly with a strange blue pulse, as if the ship itself was reacting to something. Ray turned his head slightly and saw Zyra stepping toward the open maintenance shaft. Her body shimmered, not just from light, but from something inside her. Tiny lines of glowing circuits ran under her skin, moving with her like liquid silver. What isn't just flesh and blood? Wait, he said slowly. What? What are you? Zyra paused, one hand on the shaft entrance. You were not told the full truth, I assume? Ray stared. No one told me you had metal under your skin. It is not metal, she replied. It is called E-Silk, living circuit. My people created me using both organic cells and ancient alien technology. I am part machine, but not like your robots. Ray stepped closer, the heat from the open duct already pressing against his face. You're a hybrid? She nodded. Yes, my body can carry and redirect certain energies. That is why the ship reacts. It recognizes the power inside me. Ray looked at the control screen. The energy levels were rising, but not dangerously. They were stabilizing. The ship was responding to Zyra's presence. You're fixing the systems just by being near them, he asked. For now, Zyra said. But the repairs must be finished. I must go inside now. Ray took a step back. Be careful. Zyra looked at him with a strange expression, half soft, half unreadable. You care? Yeah. Even though you do not know what I am. I care because we're both stuck here, he said.
Oh.
And I don't let teammates die. Zyra nodded once, then slid into the narrow shaft. For the next 30 minutes, Ray monitored the systems while speaking into a mic. Zyra, you okay in there? I've reached the central pipe, beginning reconnection process. Sparks danced across the screen, and a loud hum filled the ship. The engines gave a low rumble as if they were waking up from sleep. Ray saw the power levels shift slowly, carefully until the danger dropped by 40%. You're doing it, he said. There was silence. Zyra, still no answer? Zyra, talk to me. Then static, a sudden burst of energy on the monitor. The screen flashed white. Zyra. Ray ran to the shaft and pulled open the emergency hatch. The heat blasted into his face like a furnace. But there was no body inside. No sign of her. Just the faint sound of something. Whispering. Ray's eyes widened. The ship lights shifted again, this time changing colors slowly, like breathing. His tools on the floor began to float slightly, then dropped back down. Then he saw it. On the main display, a single message appeared. I'm still here.